Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. I have a wonderful little book to read today from Robert H. Bitzer. I recently read a short book by Robert H. Bitzer, All Power to You, an amazing compilation of different treatments and prayers. Robert H. Bitzer is super fascinating to me because the proof is in the pudding. He lived 98 years and he was the founder of the Hollywood Church. He taught religious science and was affiliated with Ernest Holmes. If you go on YouTube, you can find some old speeches from him back in 1994 when he was 98 and he was speaking with full and complete vitality. I find a lot of his writing to be very, very inspirational and powerful, very much like Neville Goddard. He is teaching the exact same things. And so I started to find some of his books, and they're little hidden gems. The Creative Word carries a variety of amazing teachings, and you'll love it. It's got some amazing treatments, affirmations, and powerful ideas on how you can create your reality using the Creative Word. The Creative Word by Robert H. Bitzer. The Creative Word. The difference between the winner and the second place in a great race is generally only a fraction of a second. But what a difference that makes. The difference between the really successful individual and the one who is commonplace is many times very slight. Scientific right thinking can make that difference. We all use the same mind or intelligence. The difference is one of direction rather than one of quality of thinking. The slow thinker may make greater progress than the brilliant thinker because he knows what he wants to do and keeps his direction straight, while the brilliant thinker may have so many ideas that his creative energy is scattered. The mind that we all use operates through a subjective law. What we think with conviction into this subjective mind is established as our experience. Failure, mediocrity, and success in our expression represent our thinking. Under the law of evolution, man is seemingly acted upon by a power outside of himself. The universal mind thinks not of the individual, but rather of the type. The goal of evolution is to produce man, the individualized expression of God, with the right choice, the ability to take charge of his life, and the power to create his own experiences. This new man is no longer in bondage to a belief that he is affected by time and conditions. He is no longer servant to the opinions and thoughts of others. He creates his own environment. He makes his own times and fulfills his own conditions. He is God-mind, conscious of his spiritual power and infinite possibilities. The law of evolution, which has brought this new man to the point of his divine self-assertion, is the same law that then obeys man's creative word. It is responsive to his every thought. Principles never change. Therefore, man must use the law of mind in the way in which the law can work. It is responsive by nature, and man speaks the word to which it responds. How to use this handbook. Speak your word as you want things to appear, regardless of what the present appearance might be. Limited conditions reflect beliefs in limitation. Your word will destroy these false beliefs and create the awareness of a larger expression. The law of mind will accept the word that you speak and make it your experience. For this reason, the treatments in this book are in the first person affirmative. Affirm that you have right now that which you want to have. As you create the inner conviction of having it, the law of mind produces it. Treat yourself to believe that you are at this moment that which you want to be. All things in your life respond to scientific creative treatment. Every condition in your life is thought made manifest. Persistence and perseverance in the use of the creative word will establish the success you seek. vision is always fulfilled. The greatest vision that you have of yourself, no matter how wonderful it is, can still be surpassed. You have talents that are not being used and abilities which are dormant. Vision is the mental attitude that works on that which is in your consciousness and directs your talents into tangible form. Vision, backed with conviction, followed by affirmative action, is always fulfilled. This sequence of thought creates. Vision contemplates that which is impossible, but you should not defeat your vision by claiming it is impossible. Each new vision should be greeted with an affirmative attitude that knows there is a way and that the way will be made known. A truly great idea may at first seem to be beyond your reach, but realize that the idea is given to you because there is something in your consciousness that can fulfill it. Progress is continuous. Everything that you do today, you can mentally transcend through vision. It is this stretching of vision that ensures your growth and fulfillment. Since God is all, right governs all that I do. For there is no power but God. Romans 13:1. I have complete faith that right governs. I act in confidence because right coordinates every effort and activity. I believe in the all rightness of myself. I know that God thinks of me as all right because God made me all right. I accept the all rightness with which God has endowed me. Right prevails in every situation. Right causes all things to work together for good. I have the right attitude towards everyone in my individualized world. Right governs the relationships where I live and where I work. Right establishes my remuneration and my recognition. I know that there is no cause for anything being wrong in me or around me. God is the only cause, and God is right. The only cause for my health and for my work is God. Right action permits no obstacles. All things do work out right. Right governs right now, right where I am. God mind is conscious, knowing in me. Knowledge is easy unto him that understandeth. Proverbs 14:6. The one mind makes me aware of my limitless capacity to accomplish. I know that the one mind sustains its alertness and brilliancy in me. The mind of God cannot diminish nor decrease in my expression because it ever sustains its complete awareness of what it is. Whatever I need to know is made known to me. Every detail that I should know I am made aware of. New thoughts and concepts are revealed. My quickened mentality keeps me mentally alert at all times. I know the right thing at the right time and say it. God's mind cannot be clouded nor confused. Man can never lose his mind nor have it troubled, because it is the mind of God. It is at peace, for that mind is clear, bright, and active. God's mind cannot be clouded nor confused. Man can never lose his mind nor have it troubled, because it is the mind of God. It is at peace, for that mind is clear, bright, and active. The all-knowingness of the one mind makes each word effective. My mind is not cluttered with useless ideas nor worn out thought patterns. I let go of those ideas and beliefs which I have outgrown. Fearlessly I welcome new ideas which expand my consciousness and bring a larger experience. The God thought me includes everything I need for the full expression of life. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father that speaketh in you. Matthew 10:20. The God thought me is the only reality to my life, because God's thought of me has to be God's thought as me. The God thought me has within it all the power of the infinite mind, all the wisdom of that intelligence, all the understanding which is God. The God thought me always does the right thing, because the God thought me is the right action of God. The God thought me causes everything in my life to work out right. There are no delays because the God thought me is immediate in its manifestation. I do not have to wait to become something. Right now, I am that consciousness of perfect being. Right now, I am the awareness of infinite mind. Right now, I am the consciousness of wholeness. Right now, I am inseparably one with the right action, which is God. The God thought me includes adequate finances to sustain every activity. Cooperation, friendliness, and thoughtfulness make joyous my way. The one mind keeps my mental outlook fresh and inspiring. The Spirit searcheth all things, 1 Corinthians 2:10. Since mind is fluidic, as I apply the ideas which I receive, new and greater ideas will take their place. I know that the law of growth is the law of use. Each thought has meaning and purpose. New ideas inspire me and sustain newness in my world of expression. My creative mental outlook is constantly renewed. Everywhere I look, I see newness of thought. No staleness of thought nor stagnated feeling can exist within me, because the one mind ever renews and quickens my vision of life. New mental images of a larger expression fill my mind. My quickened imagination ever brings renewal of interest and enthusiasm. I attract people with a fresh and stimulating attitude. Every experience I have reveals newness of creativeness. Every word of truth that I contemplate quickens my consciousness and brings to me newness of expression. I find newness in my work. I have a new outlook toward all my business associates. The one mind stimulates me and provides interesting, enjoyable activity. I consciously choose to make my life fulfill my desire. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, these are sons of God. Romans 8:14. I know that the test of my individuality is in the use which I make of my power of choice. I know that God has decreed that I be perfect. Completeness and adequacy are God's thoughts about me. Therefore, whatever I set out to do, I shall be complete in doing. I'm not a victim of circumstances, nor can I be out of place in my expression. I am enthusiastic about making my life fulfill my desire. I live in the assurance that all things are working with me to help bring forth the God idea. I know that at all times every experience that I have works with my God choice. I chose my work where I shall live, my friends. By the same law of reciprocal action, I know that where I work chooses me, and my friends choose me. My standard of living reveals the choice which I have made. I choose to be successful. I choose to make my life of consequence. I am always in my right place, with the right people, at the right time. And this is the Father's will, that of all which he hath given me, I should lose nothing. John 6:3-9. The law of right placement is always operative in and through me. I always have the right idea for each situation. I use each idea as I receive it, because I know that mind will always provide new ones. Right placement governs where I work and where I live. Divine order establishes my business associates and my friendships. The harmony within me brings harmony into my expression. Nothing discordant can exist in me or my experiences. Everyone and everything in my life fulfills the law of right placement. This harmony of being sustains harmonious relationships. Everything in my home is in its right place. Everything in my office is in its right place. Order governs my thinking and sustains coordination in my emotions. I act in certainty because always the law of right placement reassures me. Nothing can ever be misplaced, nor can any information that I need ever be withheld. The one mind always reveals the right thought for each experience. Your word does create. That which you think with conviction becomes your experience. Since it is done unto you according to your belief, a greater stress should be placed upon strengthening your belief. The power in your treatment depends upon your belief that it does have power. There is no limitation in the principle, nor in the demonstration of that principle. Most people have a tendency when their creative thinking reaches a certain level to let it stay there. They feel they know what they can work out and what they cannot work out through treatment. But such a limited belief will handicap them, destroy every belief that could limit you. Since God is all power, there is no point at which God, power, does not operate. Expect your word to accomplish its purpose. Your awareness of God power does destroy negative conditions, but since you are governed by your law of belief, if you believe that God power will not operate, then it apparently justifies your belief. You are surrounded by a universal subjective medium of mind which accepts your thoughts according to your conviction and objectifies it. Give your belief full power. Treatment is scientific. Daily treatments are based upon a law of mind which responds to your thought and feeling. God is love, yet God operates through law. Man uses this same law, that which you think, with conviction. The law establishes as your experience. Speak your word as you want things to be, regardless of conditions. This may contradict appearances. Treatment is the positive, affirmative acceptance of the truth which you expect. In the face of sickness, affirm health and deny that sickness has any place in divine mind. The divine presence in you is perfect health. When you affirm health, you should not be body conscious. Although you have a body, you are not physical. You are spiritual mind. Treatment operates upon consciousness and directs consciousness. This eliminates false beliefs. Treatment creates your mental acceptance of the truth. This objectifies as your experience. God mind in me consciously recalls at the right moment anything I need to remember. So God created man in his own image. Genesis 1:27. I know that while every thought, every feeling is eternally registered in God mind, only those thoughts and feelings which I desire to perpetuate have power in my life. All experiences which I have outgrown and no longer need to recall are inactivated. Any remembrance that I need to activate is instantly brought to the surface of consciousness. I know that memory is a function of God mind and God can never forget. In order to get rid of unpleasant memories, I do not have to forget. They have no power because I give them no power. My belief renders unpleasant past experiences null and void. Consequently, I have no belief in forgetting because there is no necessity to forget. There is no law of forgetting that could cause me to forget that which I want to recall. Mind is all-knowing, and my desire activates any memory that is a necessary part of my present. I can never forget I am the image and likeness of God. My courage is firm and fresh. Deal courageously, and the Lord shall be with the good. 2 Corinthians 19:11. My courage never wavers, for my faith is steady. I am always prepared for every situation. I meet each challenge as an opportunity. I am never reluctant about my expression. I put all my energy into its accomplishment. Consequently, I do not waste time nor energy in trying to avoid my task. I apply myself diligently and quickly, knowing that each experience reveals my strength and adds to my Christ stature. I am without fear. I act with courage, for my conviction of right is my power. The great creative power of the universe fortifies me. The mind of the universe inspires me. This knowledge keeps my courage fresh and my faith enthusiastic. Daily, I am aware of an inner strength and power which is greater than any demand upon me. With such strength, courage is adamant. Timidity and shyness have no place in my experience. My world is friendly, and I have no fear of people. My trust in the all-protectiveness of God sustains me. God mind in me never wavers in its right knowingness. Be ye doers of the word. Jasper 1:22. The one mind at all times keeps my thinking clear and orderly. I cannot doubt my God-conscious self, nor question my God decisions. I act in confidence, with the assurance that the one mind always is right knowing in me. I am positive in my outlook toward life. Everywhere I go, I expect things to work out right because right knowingness governs. My opportunity and my right remuneration can never be denied. Right knowingness always makes available all that is necessary for the fulfillment of richer living. The right knowing mind in me makes its decisions quickly and wisely. Every effort I put forth is directed into the channels of the greatest effectiveness. My God pattern for success keeps all activity directed toward right fulfillment. I act in confidence with the assurance that divine mind always guides. The all-knowingness of this one mind erases any doubt about my ability or any indecision regarding the effectiveness of my work. The one power strengthens every activity. My unified being keeps me free of conflict, that they may be one, even as we are one. John 17:22. Because I maintain my conscious unity with God, nothing discordant can come into my life. The awareness of God at the center sustains peace in every experience. Harmony of being is always maintained. My God-conscious self always controls everything in my environment. Every activity is coordinated because God-mind always governs and directs. My unified being cannot quarrel with anyone, nor can it permit people to quarrel with me. Harmony of being is maintained in my silent thought toward everyone in my world. No one can be antagonistic toward me because the harmony of being cannot be disrupted. No misunderstanding can exist in any of life's relationships. I do not indulge in silent criticism of others. I know that each person has access to the infinite and that the wisdom of God-mind is instantly available to everyone. This perfect understanding governs my relationship with others. Divine agreement is the law of perfect expression. I accept my rightful heritage. Thou didst encourage me with strength in my soul. Psalm 138:3. I am receptive to my good. I recognize that which is rightfully mine. I love and appreciate that which belongs to me. I know that just as the manna of old fed and sustained the children of Israel day by day, so each day I am abundantly supplied. I keep faith with this all-providing good. I know that God's bounty can never fail. I accept joyously that which God gives evidence of my faith that God will always provide. I accept my right place in life. I know that my life has meaning and purpose. I accept my ability. Nothing in me can reject my talents. I subjectively accept all my talents and claim their rightful expression. I accept myself because in accepting myself, I accept God-mind which created me. I cannot belittle any effort nor underestimate the importance of my life expression. Every talent has its opportunity for expression. My ability is recognized and appreciated. Don't sell yourself short. You have to learn not only to put your greatest effort into all you do, but to also give yourself recognition for what you have done. Two people working equally well may not reap the same benefits from life. One gives himself recognition while the other belittles his efforts. Many childhood impressions of being scolded and nagged have registered in the subconscious. To offset these, you must definitely give yourself recognition and credit for progress, not in an egotistical nor conceited way that sells you short. Egotism and conceit are states of mind attempting to cover up a feeling of inadequacy. When you give recognition to your power and know what you are doing, you have more power and reap the full benefits of your constructive action. If you underestimate the value of what you're doing, even though it is not bringing the remuneration which you feel you should have, you are selling yourself short. Always know that opportunity is given you and that ample remuneration is included. I am positive and dynamic in my creative thinking. In the day that I called, thou answeredest me. Psalm 138:3. My positiveness of good permits no indecision. The one mind is all-knowing in me. I am fully informed on all that I need to know. I act in confidence because the one mind is all-revealing. No doubt has any power over me because my positive awareness of good holds me steady. This positiveness is the nucleus for dynamic creative thoughts. New inspiration, new concepts, new faith motivate me. At all times, my progress is inevitable. I know that God action is right and sustains my perfect fulfillment. No fear thoughts can enter because the all-knowing mind within me is aware of my sincerity and my integrity. The power within me is all sufficient for each endeavor. I maintain my conscious identity as spiritual mind. I am one with the all-good, which is good. My positive attitude is stimulating and inspiring. It permits no time for the idle or negative thinking. My positive thinking creates experiences of good and surrounds me with happiness and prosperity. I depend upon divine principle for my limitless abundance. I am become rich. I have found me out substance. Hosea 12:8. I know that money has no power over me because I am that which creates money. I have the power to give myself wealth or to withhold wealth. I am opulent abundance. This awareness is my true prosperity and my never-failing security. I am one with limitless substance, which is God. Substance, which is God, cannot be denied because God could never be poor nor limited. I know that I, too, am the consciousness of that which God is. There is nothing in me that could cause me to be aware of limitation or permit any condition of lack. I am conscious of the limitless abundance, which is God. I live opulently because I know that all that the Father hath belongs to me. I am the prosperous life which God is. I live in the conviction of prosperous being. My consciousness is quickened so that the awareness of opulence and wealth is vitalized. I know my prosperous, abundant self finds its complete fulfillment. God-mind gives every desire its right value. For one star differeth from another star in glory. 1 Corinthians 15:41. There is that within me which knows what I truly desire. Therefore my creative energy is directed toward the fulfillment of that which I want. I do not waste time working on desires which I do not really want to fulfill, nor do I scatter my energy by entertaining thoughts that do not have the right value. I give full credit to all my accomplishments, but my creative energy centers itself upon larger and greater accomplishments. Desires which cannot fit into a plan of progress are not worthy of me. Therefore, I do not permit their expression. These worthy desires, which give motive power to my individualized expression and which are valuable, I accept and fulfill. I am not afraid of an honest mental self-appraisal. I neither overvaluate nor undervaluate myself. I know the worth of every desire. I accept those which are useful and discard those which are valueless. The all-knowing mind within me reveals and animates the right desire for my right success. Wherever I go, whatever I do, I act under divine law. Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. Psalm 91. I know that the presence which is God forever maintains its consciousness of perfect being in me. I have constant access to its knowingness, its love, and its understanding. It always reveals right action and repels any action that might be detrimental to my welfare. The one presence always thinks of me as it created me and still intends me to be. It always fills me with strength and gives me the capacity to unfold its perfect idea. I act in confident expectancy, knowing I shall always give the right help in all that I do, and that I shall always receive the right help which I need. Divine law does not compromise, but always brings its full and complete expression into manifestation. Whatever it commences, it completes. Since divine mind created me, it completes its perfect idea of its own creation. Divine law fulfills. Divine principle abundantly supplies all that I desire. We look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. 2 Corinthians 4:18. The ever-responsiveness of divine principle assures me of my security. I know that whatever I need is always made manifest. My prosperity is not limited by things because I know that consciousness is the creative power. I am aware of an infinite capacity to receive and an infinite capacity to express. I know that God-mind in me is right knowing. No concepts of limitation can interfere with my abundance. Definiteness does not create limitation because each idea that I complete and demonstrate is superseded by an idea which I complete and demonstrate. Forms of expression are steps in an ever-progressing consciousness of abundance. I have no fear of limitation because it can never be anything but a thought. Since I control that which I think, I cannot be in bondage to any thought. The intelligence within me, which chooses the idea, is the same intelligence that releases it as a completed cycle. Divine principle expresses abundance in me at all times. I put my best efforts into life. Ye shall rejoice in all that ye put your hand unto. Deuteronomy 12:7. Whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing to the best of my ability. I know that the law of growth requires the full expression of my talents. As I put my whole self into each thing that I do, I not only complete the individual task, but I open new channels for a larger expression of my talents. There is nothing in me that is stinting in my work, no tendency to hold back nor to let someone else work harder. I do not compare my task with that of any other person. I do not know whether I work harder or less than some other person. I gauge my work solely by my capacity to express. I make full demand upon my ability, and as I express to the utmost, I make an even greater demand for my power. I put myself wholeheartedly into my work. Each thing I do is done better. Every day I am more efficient. Each day I act more quickly. I do more in less time, with less effort, yet my whole self flows relentlessly into each endeavor. Divine love makes joyous my way. Let all that ye do be done in love. I know that divine love is a great solvent, that anything of hate or prejudice is completely destroyed by divine love. Nothing discordant has any place in my experience. My whole being is at peace, for I am at one with myself. I love myself. I love my fellow man. I love God. I love good. Nothing of hatred can exist in my world. I am free from prejudices because divine love reveals to me the unity of all life. I know that at all times divine love sustains cooperation and goodwill. I have no fear of people because divine love governs all my relationships. I have no fear of myself because divine love motivates me. I love my body. I love my finances. I love my work. I love all the people with whom I come into contact each day, for I know that just as God loved me and shared himself with me, so all that I love I share myself with. This harmony of being is sustained. Do not be hurt. The promises of divine protection given in the Bible assume new light in the findings of modern psychology and insurance research. Nothing happens by chance. All action is governed by law. Accidents do not happen. They are caused. Subconscious thought patterns determine this law. What you think provides danger or ensures safety. You can immunize yourself to danger by choosing thought patterns that are free from harm. Stop fearing and thinking accidents. Do not talk about them or look for them. Establish your faith that only good can come to you. Stop believing that you do not know what is going to happen to you. That which is right will come to you. Walk and drive in safety. No harm can come to you and no harm can go from you. This is the law of divine protection on the physical, emotional, and mental levels. When you refuse to hurt by thought or deed, when your voice has lost its power to hurt, then you cannot be hurt. Your words spoken with love will heal instantaneously. I accept my good now. Acquaint now thyself with him and be at peace. Thereby good shall come unto thee. Job 22:21. I do not postpone my good, nor neglect any opportunity. I recognize and accept my good here and now. I am not in bondage to the past, nor do I permit a belief in a future to interfere with the eternal now. I know that every demonstration is made when I make up my mind to accept it. I am quick to recognize my good and mentally accept it. No belief in inadequacy could cause me to procrastinate. The power that reveals to me the good that belongs to me is the same power that equips me to accept it and express it. No false modesty nor timidity could cause me to reject any good. I know what I want and fearlessly claim it in consciousness. My good does not interfere with anyone else nor usurp the rightness of any other person. My good includes everything necessary for my full and complete unfoldment. Health, wealth, happiness, and love all belong to me. My whole being sustains perfect emotional equilibrium. Let every man prove his own work. Galatians 6:4. The peace at the center of my being permits nothing to disrupt or irritate. God in me sustains perfect understanding. The law of divine agreement permits no friction. I cannot be irritated at people, nor can I irritate people. There is no element of irritation in my thought, feeling, or actions. My integrated self sustains perfect coordination. This inner balance establishes balance in everything that concerns me. I give friendship and I receive friendship. I love and am loved. I express my affections genuinely, and affections are expressed toward me in the same way. My feelings of joy and enthusiasm permit no feelings of sadness, envy, or vindictiveness. My balanced emotions find their positive expression in constructive channels. I am generous in thought and magnanimous in action. I am free from prejudices. My fellow man is God made manifest. Therefore, he merits my best opinion and my highest regard. The law of balance establishes a reciprocal feeling in the minds of others toward me. I am opulent supply. Thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. Luke 15:31. I rejoice that the inexhaustible riches of God are mine. There is nothing of limitation in God, nor can there be any belief in limitation in me. I know that God gives lavishly and abundantly. There is no frugality in nature. I am consciously at one with this limitless abundance of God. I realize that just as the abundance of nature represents activity, so my consciousness of abundance makes me active. The life within the tree produces fruit. The power within the seed germinates it, so my prosperous self is active. It establishes me in the channel of right expression. It causes me to put my best effort into everything that I do. At all times, I am the producing power of abundance actively at work. I release my talents and am the active expression of God mind. I know that money is the outward expression of God action. Money corresponds to the conviction of opulent, successful being. I receive money abundantly and use money generously. My wealth is measured by my ability to share. God in me sustains peace of mind. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. Isaiah 26:3. My mind is one with the mind of God. The peace of God mind fills me. The wisdom of God keeps my thought clear and orderly. Nothing of confusion can arise in my life, because God mind is always right knowing. This consciousness of right always gives me the right idea and causes me to do the right thing. I am not fearful. I trust this God intelligence. I know that God mind includes all that is right for my expression. I act in confidence because this mind always gives me the information that I need. Consciously and subconsciously, every act is guided into the channels of the greatest and fullest expression of life. Since God is all, God cannot be divided. God cannot be separated from me, nor can I be separated from God. My unified being keeps me integrated. Nothing of conflict can exist in the thought or feeling. I know always that mind is the only cause, and everything in my life is mind objectified. The power in the idea. The mind that gives you a new idea is the same mind that provides the ways and means for its fulfillment. Every detail and every contingency that could arise is provided for. To release this inherent power, you must think in terms of completeness. The one mind sustains completeness in its idea and completeness in every phase of its expression. Thoroughness and perseverance establish patterns that release your power. Punctuality and attention to details help. Slovenliness and neglect establish patterns that obstruct. Whatever you undertake to do, you should do well and train yourself to stick to your vision. Have only those interests to which you can give adequate attention. To have so many interests that all of them are slighted works against you. Give more thought, time, and attention to your idea before your decision is made. Then you will not start things that you are unable to finish. Your enthusiasm and interest will not wane because you will have given the experience thorough attention before you created it. The perfect right action, which is God, ensures rightness in my expression. Even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. Psalm 139:10. I know that whatever God does is perfect and complete. My life is the action of God. Mind, God power within me is all sufficient to express perfection and completeness. There are no halfway measures in God mind. Its ideas go all the way. I can never get discouraged nor lose interest because God action sustains me all the way. I cannot be diverted nor sidetracked. God action is direct without delay. No belief in incompleteness nor fear of failure could cause me to abandon my goal. God action never gets weary, never rests, never stops. The continuous action of God directs every impulse and every feeling. God action includes all that is necessary for my demonstration. No belief in inaction can affect my life. No inaction can exist in my finances, emotions, or environment because everything I do expresses right action. I discover new talents, new ability, and new opportunities right where I am. See, saith he, that thou make all things according to the pattern showed to thee in the mount. Hebrew 8:5. Regardless of what beliefs may have circumscribed my actions, I know that untold power and infinite opportunities are mine. I'm not bound by traditional thinking nor habitual living. I venture into new expressions. I'm not afraid of challenging experiences. My law of growth and unfoldment brings expansion in all that I do. I act with courage and enthusiasm. Once I mentally perceive the value of a new experience, my whole being goes into its fulfillment. The same mind that quickens my perception so that I recognize my God power is the same mind that devises new ways and means for its full expression. I cannot deny my God-given opportunities. Just as every cause has an effect involved within it, so every talent recognized and developed has its rightful release. The ability and its expression are one continuous action of God mind. This I know. My own always comes to me without delay or confusion because God action works things out right. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Psalm 37:5. Unexpected good cannot catch me unawares because I expect to receive good, which even surpasses my imagination. I do not look to specific channels for my good to appear through. I know that God provides all the avenues necessary to bring my own to me. Consequently, I am quick to mentally accept uncontemplated good the instant it appears. All kinds of good are on their way to me. No false sense of modesty nor fear of involvement can interfere with the free flow of my good to me. My good wants to come to me. God intends it to come to me. I welcome it eagerly, joyously, with open arms, gratefully that the ever-flowing abundance of God includes me in its prosperous being. My consciousness of the ever-sustaining supply never wavers. I know that my good knows me by name, and although it is still unseen, I know it by name. God mind calls it forth. I am conscious of the abundance of good. My God shall supply all your need according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:19. Everywhere I behold the abundance of God, always manifesting more than is needed. Thousands of apples, yet only a few that will be planted and bear fruit. Millions of cells released in order to ensure one that will be fruitful. Thousands of ideas each day, yet only a few that will take and use. There is no lack, no frugality in God. I am united with this abundance of God. I refuse to think lack or frugality. Limitation has no place in any phase of my life. I am rich with the abundance of God. I think abundance, feel abundance, and live abundantly. I glorify my Creator by letting his full nature express through me. God's abundant being maintains its own richness in me as me. Everything I do prospers. All that I sow is multiplied abundantly. Every good that goes forth from me increases and does more good. Infinite, inexhaustible riches are mine now. Every thoughtful, constructive act will multiply. Each step of faith brings deeper faith. The more I do, the more I can do. No hurt feelings. One of the greatest obstacles in life is hurt feelings. As man's spiritual understanding increases, no one can hurt him. When you know the rightfulness of your place and know that your good comes to you, you can never believe in interference. To feel that someone is taking advantage of you or slighting you is a subtle form of self-rejection. Unfortunately, with many people, it becomes a habit. The subjective pattern of hurt feelings makes itself felt. It matters little what person might be the instigator of the hurt feelings. It will generally be the first person that comes along after you have established the mood. The person who is spiritually alert must face this situation frankly and squarely. You will be hurt until you increase your spiritual understanding. To break the hurt feeling habit, you must be ruthless with yourself. Coddled feelings will always get hurt, but when you call forth the strength of your being and understand the truth, never again can you be hurt. I am all sufficient unto each experience. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. Matthew 10:20. I work efficiently, and everything I do works out right. I do not have to repeat experiences because of inefficient action on my part. Whatever I do right the first time. I do not lose time making corrections because my complete consciousness is on whatever I do when I do it. Therefore, it is done right and is made effective. There's nothing in me that believes in mistakes and nothing that believes that I could ever be slow to grasp the right idea. The one mind is all revealing and my thinking is clear and keen. My decisions are quick and right. The brilliancy of the one mind sustains its brilliancy in me. The inspiration of the Almighty maintains its inspiration in me. The positiveness of God mind is the positiveness in my right thinking. At all times, all my mental faculties are sharp and alert. Everything that I do is done efficiently, for right action governs at every point in my experience. I accept myself as God's perfect idea, and I will accept you, saith the Lord God. Ezekiel 43:27. My self-acceptance permits no pattern of self-rejection. I do not deny my rightful expression nor belittle any effort that I make. I act with wisdom and in intelligence. I have access to the infinite, the same as everyone else. Therefore, I accept all the power with which God has endowed me. I cannot be rejected by friends or circumstances because I do not reject myself. I accept myself as honest, friendly, sincere, successful, and joyous. I cannot be left out of anything that is worthwhile because there is no belief in me that could leave me out. I cannot feel alone or sorry for myself because my thought governs all friendships. There is no feeling of rejection or separation that could make me feel alone. I am one with the infinite and I accept myself. My world expresses this friendliness and joy. My work cannot express a pattern of self-rejection. Since I accept myself, my work is accepted. It is done efficiently, thoroughly, and conscientiously. My self-acceptance is complete. The peace at the heart of God is the peace at the heart of me. The work of righteousness shall be peace. Isaiah 32:17. My reliance upon the presence of God gives me poise and power. My relationship with God cannot vary because I am in God and God is in me. Nothing can disturb this relationship. I maintain perfect equilibrium. Regardless of storms around me or opinions of others, the presence of God in me keeps me stabilized. This conviction keeps me true to my course. This balance is maintained between my desire and my expression, my thought and its creation. This presence permits no trouble to come into my life. Nothing of confusion can enter my atmosphere. This peace automatically would repel any approaching disturbance. Wherever I go, harmony is established before I arrive. This same law causes whatever I do to work out harmoniously. This peace at the center keeps me conscious of the depth of my spiritual power. My awareness of the one presence sustains my unified being in its right expression. This peace coordinates all action and brings complete harmony on every plane of activity. The God thought of me sustains its creative purpose in my expression. The Father is in me. John 10:38. Just as the power within the seed contains everything necessary for its complete expression, so the God thought of me includes everything necessary for the full expression of life. I am inseparably linked to its creative power. I am unified in thought and feeling with the God thought of successful me. It includes strength and vitality. It includes prosperous, joyous being. Its motivating power is the active influence for good. It is the drive for success. It is my incentive to be prosperous and successful. I am aware of its far-reaching influence, for throughout all eternity I am one with the God thought of me. The purpose of the creative mind is consciously made known to me. Its forward momentum coordinates all actions so that all things work out right. I am consciously at one with its awareness of perfection. My desire for happiness is the God urge seeking expression. My desire for wealth is the God abundance seeking fulfillment. My desire for love is the God law maintaining its harmony of being. Don't create a crisis. Watch your thoughts. They show which way your experiences are shaping. A crisis is made up of many little states of mind. Thoughts are power, and each problem should be answered in your mind the moment it presents itself. The same principle is true of your emotions. Guide them and direct them. You cannot have an outburst of temper right out of the blue. It can only be an accumulation of emotional feeling. Watch yourself when you feel that you cannot stand something. Such emotions are the breeders of great explosions. Do not permit yourself to emotionalize your dislikes. It is so easy to make hatred and prejudice habits, whether they be directed toward things, people, or places. Cultivate poise and understanding. Know that nothing can disturb you because you are centered in divine mind, which can never be disturbed. Thus, the soul-searing crisis is avoided. Be positive and meet each thought as it appears. You can create your own experiences for self-expression. I act with confidence, fulfilling my good. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me. John 14:11. I know that man can never be frustrated nor inhibited, because he is the positive knowingness of God mind. I am ever conscious of my ability. Each day I am aware of my talents. These God attributes have their rightful place. No timidity nor shyness can exclude my good from me. My acceptance of my true ability permits no reticence nor timidity. I act with initiative and certainty. The power that developed my talents is the same power that gives me the capacity to express them. My ability ever increases. I am thoroughly sold on what I do. My enthusiasm and exuberance give added impetus to my day's work. Nothing can interfere with my rightful activity. I am confident and expectant. I work joyously, knowing that right action is always fulfilled. My ideas have their right expression. My desires have their right fulfillment. My ambitions have their right place. I have determination and perseverance. I act with certainty governed by divine wisdom. I always have my right place. The harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he would send forth laborers into his harvest. Luke 10:2. The law of my life always has me in the right place. As I grow and evolve, my right place keeps pace with my changing consciousness. Periodically, I take inventory of my environment and thus recognize the progress that I have made. The law of my life does not permit me to get in a rut. I do not permit thoughts of fixation to hold me in a vice. My environment does grow with me. As I become increasingly aware of my true possibilities, additional opportunities are always provided. The cause and its effect are inseparable. So my self-accepted ability is inseparably linked with the adequate position for its full expression. My infinite capacity provides adequate expression at each level in my constantly expanding self. I do not depend upon external circumstances. I depend upon divine principle. It operates in all places, through all people, at all times, and yet is dependent upon neither person, place, nor thing. I am a center of infinite knowingness, therefore I choose each experience with wisdom. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light upon my path. Psalm 119:105. The one mind which is God is my mind. Therefore God mind knows all that is involved in every decision I make. Those ideas which would not be harmonious nor fruitful I reject. Those ideas which afford me the opportunity that I require and bring peace and joy into my life, I consciously choose. I know that I am divinely guided and guarded. The law of my life will not permit me to choose those things which are detrimental to my good. There is nothing in me that would desire that which would be harmful or which would handicap me. I know that goodness, love, and prosperous being belong to me. Therefore, I choose those experiences which work accordingly. I am never at a loss to know what to do. I act with certainty and confidence. The one mind is all-inspiring and all-revealing. I am never in doubt about a decision because the one mind is right knowing in me. I am the answer to every problem. In the beginning, God. Genesis 1:1. I commence every experience with the realization that God is the starting point. Since the quest in life is to find God, I commence with the answer to my search. God indwelling me is the answer to every problem. The mind that makes me conscious of a problem simultaneously shows me the answer. Problems are not negative experiences any more than adding a sum of figures is a negative experience. The presentation of a problem impels new right action, for the answer is simply the extension of that of which I am already aware. There are no negative problems because there are no negative experiences in God. There is nothing negative in my life. I am the positive action of God, knowing. I know that to become conscious of a need is to become aware of its fulfillment. Every problem has its complete answer. God is the beginning and the end, and our experience of God is that which goes between. My memory is God knowing. The memory of the just is blessed, Proverbs 10:7. There is nothing in me that believes in loss of memory. God mind in me is all-knowing. Everything I have ever done, everything I have ever learned, is a part of my permanent being. Subconscious mind in me retains all these memories and presents to me instantly whatever I demand to recall. I do not have to grope nor search to recall that which I desire. Only those memories that I choose to consciously relive have any power. Frustration and mistakes are not part of my present consciousness. Therefore, memory cannot recall them. I know that the purpose of memory is to keep me united with the strength that I have attained in the past in order that my present consciousness may build a greater strength. Thus, I am not forgetful of anything that I want to remember. Since mind is everywhere and always maintains its own self-identity, so memory can never be lost. It is my awareness of my God identity. My positive constructive word cannot reverse itself. Fight the good fight of faith. 1 Timothy 6:12. I give full power to the constructive word which I speak. It can never violate its own nature, nor can it be resisted. There is no pattern of rejection in my thought. Therefore, nothing can deny my complete God expression. I am divinely guided. Every business venture works out right. The law of perfect right action blesses everyone with whom I have any contact. God action blesses everyone with whom I have any transaction. No one connected with me can experience financial reverse of any kind, because perfect right action prospers everyone with whom I work. No belief in self-rejection could cause anything to go wrong, nor bring delay in any work involving me. I know that my word always accomplishes. Everything necessary for its complete manifestation is quickened and brought into perfect form. God action always fulfills. My positive conviction of good makes every effort positive and powerful. The forward momentum of my positive belief fulfills my word. Divine love and perfect understanding give me complete freedom from prejudices. The truth shall make you free. John 8:32. I know that God understanding enables me to see my fellow man in the right light. Nothing of prejudice can exist in my mind because I neither prejudge nor judge my fellow man. I know that he has access to the infinite and that God indwells him. I think of him as an expression of God, therefore I have no false beliefs about him. In all my relationships, God action prevails. I would not take advantage of anyone, nor can anyone take advantage of me. My recognition of the divine in those around me lifts the level of my consciousness and causes me to function on the plane of expression where there is nothing but good. I am not prejudiced toward anyone who has had either more or less advantages than I. I am not prejudiced by a person's finances nor his situation in life. I know that each person is an integral part of the whole and that each person is absolutely essential to the divine plan. I am always at the right place at the right time. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. Proverbs 2:7. The one mind is all-knowing and reveals to me everything I need to know. The intelligence within me responds instantaneously to every demand which I make upon it. There is no need for me ever to be late because the power within me always makes me ready for each experience. There is no false habit of procrastination because God mind in me always anticipates each new opportunity. My recognition of the one presence always keeps me alert and expectant. I am always prepared for a greater opportunity. I know at all times that even before I ask, the one mind has already answered. I do not have to wait. All action is harmonious and cooperative. Everything necessary for my complete expression is already available. Nothing can postpone my good because there is nothing in me that believes in delay. I am always on time in all that I do. I pay my bills promptly, and all money due me is paid on time. There is no delay in any of my affairs. God action is immediate. Every man has his rightful place. Each man is part of the unfolding divine pattern. Each has his own life expression and must fill his own place. No one can take the place of another, and no one can take your place away from you. The recognition of this truth saves you untold worry and concern about your work. It releases you from jealousy and envy. The proof of your acceptance of this truth is determined by your individual perseverance. You are not in competition with any other person, but you must be forever in competition with yourself. You must constantly work to improve whatever you are doing. Any mark that you have ever made for yourself must be surpassed. The belief that others can interfere with your good is mental evasion. You see your shadow only when you look away from the sun. When you face your source, you see no shadow. Within you is the power. When you make a greater demand upon yourself, you will assert yourself and accept the challenge. God action is right and is instantaneously made manifest. He spake, and it was done. Psalm 33:9. Order is heaven's first law. Therefore, all ideas in divine mind maintain their right sequence. Nothing is ever out of place. No idea that is needed could ever be withheld, nor could man ever be flooded with ideas that he was not able to use. My awareness of God order ensures instantaneous right action. Nothing can ever be delayed or withheld because I know that all that I need is instantaneously available. The perfect right action of the one mind brings its complete fulfillment. No inaction has any place in my life because God is action and I am the activity of God mind. I live in the conviction that right governs. At all times, God action is complete and covers every need. Nothing ever works out only halfway right, for God action consummates its perfection. God interest cannot waver nor lag in enthusiasm. Whatever I start, I enthusiastically complete. The more I meditate upon my active, creative expression, the more interested I become, and the greater the power in my actions. Show your gratitude and give your blessing. Gratitude is a positive, receptive state of mind. Jesus understood this by giving thanks before anything happened. Gratitude creates within you a receptivity toward your good. It opens definite channels through which your good can express. Each time you give thanks for the good you have received, you make your acceptance of that good complete. It also has a definite relationships toward your future good. This is why you should be very careful not to grumble. Some people feel that no matter what they receive, it is never enough. You will always receive more, but you should first accept what you have. Giving thanks does not preclude future or additional good. The acceptance of what you do with thanksgiving and joy is important. What you give should always be given lovingly. Tasks performed begrudgingly will have to be repeated until you learn to serve with love and joy. Your gift accomplishes its purpose when your blessing is added. I know that which is right and am free from criticism. The Lord God omnipotent reigneth. Revelations 19:6. No habit of criticism has ever any hold over me. I am discerning and know that which is right. I give no power to anything else. I do not have to accept inferior workmanship nor inadequate service. There is nothing in me that attracts carelessness nor inattention. I give my best effort to all that I do, and I look for the best in all that comes to me. I am not critical of the thoughts or actions of others. Each person lives according to his thought pattern. Therefore, I attract those whose thought patterns are constructive and positive. There is no feeling of inferiority in me that could make me critical, no feeling of insecurity that could cause me to be picky and petty. My full self-acceptance of the powers with which the infinite has endowed me ensures my greatest good. I cannot be slighted nor pushed around because I keep faith with my real self. No belief in criticism exists in me. Therefore, I neither give criticism nor receive criticism. Right now, I have the right answer to any problem, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. Colossians 4:6. I recognize that every problem has its answer, and that within me which recognizes the problem instantly perceives the answer. The same mind that gives me the intelligence to recognize a need in my life is the same mind that causes me to fulfill that need. There are no unsolved problems in the mind of God, and that same mind in me is never at a loss to know what to do. It always has the right answer for each situation as it arises. It acts in positiveness and with decision. At all times, I recognize that my life is guided and directed, and everything that I do is the fulfillment of a pattern of right knowing. There are no mistakes in my life, no false actions, no bad starts. I know that problems are not negative, but are situations awaiting my word for action. I speak with determination, with courage, with conviction. I have no fear because I know that God action governs, and at all times I do the right thing. I do not permit thoughts to irritate, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. James 1:20. God mind in me keeps me poised and at peace. I do not permit myself to become griped or irritated. Any thought of hurt feelings is instantly reversed. I do not permit myself to feel sorry for myself even for a fraction of a second. I know that God has given me all power and that the law of subjective mind obeys me. Its responsiveness creates the good which I desire. I do not have misunderstandings or disturbances. I live in the consciousness of unified life. I am never short-tempered because I am always in complete control of my feelings. I do not permit slight peeves to build into outbursts of temper. I destroy the slightest peeve or annoyance the moment it appears. Perfect understanding governs all my relationships with people. I know that no one would want to interfere with my progress, and no one could interfere. Therefore, there is nothing in me that fears what others might think or do. Success is the law of my life. Everything I do prospers and succeeds. Therefore, let us go unto perfection. Hebrews 6:1. God endowed me with the ability to succeed. This God quality of success brings success in all that I do. Divine principle always fulfills. Everything I undertake, I complete. Whenever I go, I act in confidence. Success is operative in my business and in my finances. Everything I need to prosper is made manifest. The right merchandise, the right customers, the right ideas, and the right clients. The value of my service is recognized, appreciated, and remunerated. Success governs every transaction. The principle of success is manifest in my home, in my marriage, in my relationships with those whom I love. Perfect understanding and appreciation govern. This consciousness of success surrounds me with successful people. Nothing of limitation can exist because the infiniteness of God's abundance is sustained. Everyone with whom I work prospers. Everything my thought touches prospers. God knows no favorites, but blesses all. My life has meaning and purpose. The manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. 1 Corinthians 12:7. While I do not become over-serious, I know that everything I do has meaning. This eliminates wasted effort and false fiction. It keeps all my energy applied in a constructive way. The all-knowing intelligence in me knows what I am doing and why. This avoids any false start. Whatever I undertake, I complete. I do not have to experiment through trial and error. Divine intelligence leads me directly to those things that mean the most and reveals those opportunities which are the most worthwhile. At all times, I am confident that my life has meaning. I can never be uncertain nor in doubt. The one intelligence causes all things to work out right. That within me which knows gives the right value to each situation and automatically rejects any experience that would not measure up to the standard of my divine self-appraisal. Thus, I give full value for all that I receive. Whatever I do is worth giving my complete attention. Expect new experiences. To fulfill your law of progress, you must always look ahead. Not everyone realizes the extent to which he is limited by subconscious thinking about the past. The good old days bring psychological limitations. When you try to recapture a glory you had in the past, you limit yourself. However, when you look forward, you should expect greater accomplishments than any you have ever experienced in the past. A great artist, when asked which was his greatest painting, always replied, "The next one that I do." He always looked ahead. The greatest song is yet to be sung. The great American novel is yet to be written. Your greatest talents are yet to be awakened and brought forth into their full expression. You have access to the one mind of the universe, but it can bring newness into your life only through new concepts. If you assume that you know all the truth, you will be shutting out new concepts of truth. Mind is infinite, and you can keep yourself receptive to its infinite flow. I handle every experience promptly. And straightway they left the nets and followed him. Mark 1:18. The one intelligence within me reveals instantaneous right action. Each thing that I am required to do is done immediately and wisely. My correspondence is answered the day I receive it. I do not have to postpone my actions nor decisions. I do not use anyone as a buffer nor an alibi. The intelligence within me is sufficient to decide promptly whenever it is necessary. I'm not afraid of my decisions because God intelligence directs. I'm not burdened by unfinished business nor weighed down by uncompleted tasks. Whatever I undertake, I complete. All my affairs are maintained in divine order, so that no unfinished business can hang heavily over me. I act with positiveness, knowing that God action governs. God action brings the right acceptance of my decisions. Things do work out right. There is nothing in me that resists the wise decision. I accept it consciously and subjectively. Therefore, it is accepted by my world. Instantaneous right action always governs. I express life with enthusiasm and joy. For ye shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. Isaiah 55:12. My interest and appreciation of life makes me enthusiastic. I do not do things halfway. Whatever I undertake gets my wholehearted support. Whatever is worth doing to the best of my ability. I live in the conviction that the best there is none too good. I make the demand upon myself that everything I do must be done right. I know enthusiasm is the fire that animates thought. I am enthusiastic in knowing that the law of mind responds to my thought. I expect new experiences and find new ways to do them. I live in the conviction that God indwelling me is the presence as might and power. Every action receives the impetus of this divine awareness. I know that at all times my enthusiasm in what I believe and do is so vital that everyone around me feels it. My interest in my work, in my product, in whatever I sell is so great that people unconsciously share in my conviction. My positive awareness that God always meets every need keeps me positive and happy. Teach yourself how to accept. God loves a cheerful giver. Over and over again, the virtues of giving have been stressed. Gibran states that to give is to live, to withhold is to die. Yet how impossible it would be to give if there were no one to receive. The gift is not completed until it has been accepted. God gave his only Son because he so loved the world, but the gift is not completely made until man accepts God's love as his own. The greatest obstacle to acceptance is false pride used to cover a feeling of inadequacy. It is true from one point of view that you should be so strong that no one can give you anything, but this is a very limited concept. No one has ever had enough strength and self-sufficiency to live without love, and love cannot be given without being received. Some kinds of giving might tend to weaken and debase. God-giving strengthens and exalts. Just as it is difficult to know which came first, the chicken or the egg, so giving and receiving represents a continuous cycle of expression. The secret of receiving is to know that the giver and the receiver are one. The Spirit of God in me never slumbers nor sleeps. You will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Psalm 121:3. I know there are no idle moments nor wasted opportunities. The all-knowing intelligence always guides night and day. No matter where I am, regardless of what I am doing, the all-pervading good watches over me. It is a positive force for good, which ensures rightness. I trust this good implicitly, and every thought and feeling bears witness to my acceptance of this good. Anything inconsistent with my good is automatically repelled. The law of my life permits nothing that I would regret or be ashamed of. Wherever I go, my good springs forth. It seeks me and only awaits my recognition. My opportunities are not sleeping nor dormant. My alertness and receptivity brings each opportunity into focus. My consciousness of the all-directing presence fills my life with joy and success. My right expression is divinely ordained, and every step I take leads me into my fullest expression of life. I am free from domination. For thou shalt be his witness unto all men of what thou hast seen and heard. Acts 22:15. I recognize the completeness of the power within me. God in me makes me all-sufficient in all things. I do not lean upon others, nor do I expect other people to do things for me. I am a complete law unto my divine expression. The integrity of my being does not permit me to impose upon anyone. The all-sufficiency of God's strength in me does not permit me to make demands upon other people. Consequently, I permit nothing in my consciousness that would invite, attract, or make possible any person's domination. I do not permit interference in my life through thought, feeling, or action. Since there is nothing in me that believes in domination, I cannot be dominated, nor can I dominate others. Any thought of domination directed at me is lovingly dissolved, and the person from whom it originated is guided into avenues of self-fulfillment. My refusal to permit anyone to interfere with my life impels me to be my true self in its expression. Divine wisdom inspires me to say the right thing on every occasion. Be of the same mind one toward another. Romans 12:16. The one mind, which is God, is my mind. Consequently, I do not impulsively say things that I afterwards regret. I never lose my mental equilibrium. My consciousness of right knowingness keeps me from being excitable or irrational. I always say the right thing in the right way and mean what I say. I am not afraid to speak up when the occasion demands, nor am I afraid to be silent when that seems to be right. I do not intrude upon any situation where I do not belong physically, emotionally, and mentally. While it may not be necessary or expedient to always reveal where I stand on certain issues, yet I shall always be free from any sense of hypocrisy. My stand on those issues that are vital and important to me are always clear and definite. The all-knowing mind, which is God in me, constantly reveals that which is right. I act with poise and certainty. This inspires others to be more sure of themselves. I live and work under the law of divine right placement. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Everything in my life fulfills the law of divine order. Wherever I go, whatever I do, I am in my right place. Harmony of being ensures this. All conditions around me reflect this inner harmony. Each increase in my awareness of power brings an increase in my opportunity. My environment cannot lag behind. Right placement always keeps it at the level of my consciousness. Where I work, everything is in its right place. Nothing can ever be misplaced or lost, for this law of divine order is always sustained. Nothing can be hidden from me. I do not forget where I have put things. I'm always conscious of right placement. Every feeling finds its right outlet. I am never late because the law of right placement can never be out of order. The greater the recognition of my talents, the larger the outlets for their expression. The more generous I am in expressing my ability, the greater the inflow of my good. My faith in good keeps me free from doubt. Thy faith hath saved thee. Go in peace. Luke 7:50. I know that the universe is governed by a positive, constructive good. Its order and harmony are unmistakable. This same power is the motivating force in my life. I'm not subject to doubt nor despair because I have complete faith in the inevitability of good. I do not get disturbed mentally because my mind is one with the mind of the universe. The constructive pattern in my life keeps my thinking coordinated. Nothing can disturb this pattern. At all times, I am aware of the guiding, directing power of the one mind. Therefore, I act with certainty in the assurance that all things do work out right. My positive faith in good keeps me at peace. The all-knowing mind always gives me the right answer to every question. I cannot get bewildered because the one mind is all-revealing. It always sustains the right attitude in every situation. It keeps my thinking positive and dynamic. Things are certain to turn out right. I act in this confidence. I express newness of life in every experience. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Proverbs 9:9. I'm not in bondage to past experiences nor methods of expression. I establish good habits. Automatically, right action is initiated. Even though good habits are operating, I constantly bring forth something new. Each time I speak my creative word, I am aware of a new element in my consciousness. My technique of expression is made efficient and effective. I approach each task with newness. Although I may have performed it successfully thousands of times, each time I am aware of something new that can be added. Routines can never become monotonous because of this newness of life. Each moment I am at a place in conscious time where I have never been before. The richness of past experiences has prepared me for this moment, and everything in my past acts as a springboard for my dive into the present. With joyous enthusiasm, I move into the largest expression of my life. Every moment is made new because each moment I am new. The law of expression. Truth never reverses itself because truth is eternal. That which is truth could never be a lie tomorrow. Your expression depends upon your recognition of truth. Through doubt or false belief, you relate yourself to that which is false instead of the truth. Your word must be spoken with conviction and power to give it forward momentum. Sometimes people mistake a half-hearted effort for a reversal. Through emotional enthusiasm, they may assume that they are projecting their word further than they actually are. When the enthusiasm is worn off, they are disappointed. You need to put greater power and greater momentum into what you do. Sometimes prayers are not answered because they do not go far enough. People stop too soon. They will stick with a project for years and then drop it 30 minutes before it would have been completely consummated. Stay with your conviction and back up each thought with action. The one presence keeps me safe, however I travel. There shall not a hair of your head perish. Luke 21:18. I have a right to choose whatever method of transportation I desire because all forms of transportation are perfectly safe. Protected presence of God operates whether I am sitting in my chair, walking down the street, flying in the sky, or diving beneath the surface of the sea. Divine love protects me. I travel in safety wherever I go, for divine love makes safe every street, every freeway, every throughway, every turnpike. At all times, I am at peace with myself. I am conscious of the rights of others, and I am courteous but not servile. I do not endanger others through driving too fast, nor am I a menace through being a slowpoke. Divine right action governs. I am quick in my reactions and wise in my decisions, for God mind protects and guides. This consciousness of safety includes everyone on the highway wherever I go. The mind that conceived and created the freeways is the same mind that makes safe drivers and keeps drivers safe. My increased recognition of my ability finds a greater outlet. Neglect not the gift that is in thee. 1 Timothy 4:14. The law of increase is operative upon every plane of expression. My increased awareness of talents brings a greater ability. My increased recognition of creative mind makes my thought more powerful. There are no patterns of limitation that can hold me back. Everything I do today excels that which I did a year ago. I think in terms of a larger supply. I feel a greater abundance. I live in the consciousness of opulence. Nothing of meanness or smallness can have any place in my life. I cannot be stinting in my effort. I am generous, magnanimous, and gracious. I give praise freely where I know praise belongs, and I am quick to withhold thoughts of criticism. I accept my rightful heritage now. The limitless abundance, which is God, flows freely and fully through me. It finds complete outlet in everything I do. Everyone I contact feels successful. Positive, yet flexible. You must be positive in order to accomplish anything worthwhile. You must be positive that your good is going to express, and that your ability will more than fulfill any demand made upon it. Yet, there are times when your positiveness must yield. Unless a tree bends, it may snap and break. Modern skyscrapers are safe in earthquakes because the steel structure will bend and give. An attitude of mind that is adamant and unyielding may create havoc. Do not abandon your ideal nor sacrifice your principle, but develop flexibility in your thought. Many executives make great decisions on the golf links rather than at conference tables because consciousness is more flexible. Steamroller tactics create ill will. Even when you have made up your mind as to what you shall do, you should always be open to added suggestions. The mighty bridge across the Golden Gate can sway as much as 20 feet in safety. Keep your consciousness flexible to ensure your progress and growth. Divine love sustains harmonious relationships at all times. Hatred stirreth up strifes, but love covereth all sins. Proverbs 10:12. I am not critical of others, nor do I condemn. I feel kindly toward everyone. I know and think of each person as successful and prospering. In turn, I attract kindliness and considerateness. I have no animosity, and no one has animosity towards me, my work, or my success. There is nothing in my thought that could attract envy, jealousy, or resentment. God in me is my perfect understanding. I do not irritate people consciously nor subconsciously. I am sincerely interested in their success and welfare. I like people and people like me. I admire success in others and others admire success in me. I do not covet the success of anyone. I am not envious of another's progress. I would not and could not interfere with the progress of anyone. Neither by thought nor act can I trespass upon the success of another. I neither actively nor silently interfere. I think secretly only that which I want to express outwardly. I give thanks that God always meets every need joyously and abundantly. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Psalm 91:16. I cultivate thankfulness and gratitude because I know that such attitudes establish the pattern of my acceptance. There is no belief in ungratefulness in me regarding myself or anyone else. I appreciate myself and everyone in my life. I appreciate each individual for the unique place which he fills in my expression. I appreciate whatever I have to offer in friendship or in ability. I am grateful because each idea fulfills its own mission. Just as I do not expect figs from rose bushes, I do not make impossible demands upon myself or others. I give thanks that always I can be that which I should be in any particular expression. I give thanks that I attract the right person for each need, the right mechanic, the right automobile, the right accountant, the right salesman, the right purchasers, the right builder, the right person for each experience. Always rightness governs. Freedom of choice. The divine urge for the complete expression of life pushes relentlessly through man, yet man has the great privilege of choice. He has all eternity in which to make his demonstration. He can digress and traverse bypaths. He can procrastinate and delay. The infinite mind applies no pressure to compel right action, nor is man's discovery of truth heralded with great fanfare. The divine appears not with the voice of thunder, nor in a quake that shakes the earth. The divine speaks so gently that unless you have mastered inner stillness, you might not hear it. Intuition is never overpowering. The divine does not seize you and compel you to listen and follow its dictates, but like your heartbeat, you have to stop what you are doing to feel its pulse. Yet its beat is constant and persistent, always doing its work. So divine mind sustains its continuous circulation. You are free to accept as many of these ideas as you can use. Eventually, you shall accept all of them. The all-presence of good surrounds me and protects me. Fear not, for I am with thee. Isaiah 43:5. The presence of God in me permits no belief in evil. It frees me from all sense of harm. Nothing unpleasant nor embarrassing has any place in my life. My awareness of good completely obliterates any belief in evil. Everything in my life works out right. I am surrounded by good. The all-presence of good does not permit me to harm anyone, nor anyone to harm me. There is nothing in me that would want to hurt anyone, and there is nothing in anyone that would desire to hurt me. My awareness of the all-good enables me to understand my fellow man. I know that each person is working out his divine destiny. This knowledge releases me from the bondage of criticism and condemnation. I know that God, the center, always protects, guides, and guards. I know that divine protection includes everything that I use. My automobile, the train I ride, the plane I fly, the bus on which I travel. I live in the consciousness of safety. I am free from self-condemnation because I accept my God self. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, and it shall be given him. James 1:5. Subjectively, I feel no need for being punished by myself or anyone. My awareness of God indwelling me releases me from destructive criticism. I accept myself as God created me. My constructive habits are far greater than any destructive tendencies. My ability to radiate love far outweighs any tendency toward hate. Prejudices have no place in my thought or feeling. My oneness with God creates perfect understanding. I know that God always thinks of me as perfect being, the expression of all that God is. I live in the conviction that right governs. I do not condemn myself for frustrations, nor for failing to recognize opportunities. I cannot turn down an expression for which I am ready. Therefore, I do not condemn myself for past actions. I realize that infinite mind in me reveals an infinite capacity to express. I am ready for a larger opportunity and a larger expression. I eagerly accept the new experience because I know that I am ready, willing, and able. I am receptive to my good. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. Matthew 19:12. There is that within me which knows how to receive my good. I accept it without embarrassment because I know that all that I accept shall give out again. The law of supply maintains its balance. That which I receive, I give. That which I give, I receive. I know that my receptivity is always on the level of my thinking. I think without limitation, therefore I receive without limitation. Life expresses abundantly through me. I accept my good. I am good conscious. I think good. I talk good. I look for good. I expect good. Only good can go forth from me. As a consequence, only good can come to me. My positive thought establishes the level of my good expression. Everything necessary to maintain this expression is included within my thinking. I have the right attitude to call forth good. My vision penetrates every appearance and reveals to me perfection. I give generously of love and service, therefore I receive generously, for the law maintains its perfect balance. The limitless principle of abundance multiplies all that I do. Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. 1 Timothy 4:15. Infinite mind always supplies me with an abundance of ideas. I am never at a loss to know what to say or do, for the one mind abundantly supplies new thoughts and new concepts. I express each idea fully and completely, for new ideas always move in to motivate me. I use even my choicest ideas joyously, because I know that even greater ideas are waiting for my use. The principle of abundance operates on every plane of my expression. Everything that is good is abundantly supplied. My experiences of good increase and multiply. All that is good within me finds full opportunity for expression and release. Limitless abundance prospers me. No lack or limitation exists in divine mind, and I accept the fullness of life that belongs to me. The principle of abundance expresses in deep friendships. There is no lack of affection or love. I give generously and receive generously, for the love which is God ever finds its abundant fulfillment in me. Give yourself credit. You should spend as much time praising your positive thoughts as you spend criticizing your negative thoughts. You may take years building up something that is worthwhile, then permit some slightly negative suggestion to tear it down. 50 people may tell you how fine you look, but if one person remarks that you look tired, you may forget the praise of the 50. Think of all the good things that you do to help your family and friends instead of worrying about the one thing that you did not do. Give greater power to your progress. Do not think of delays. Never be picayunish. It is a false habit and one that most people get into unconsciously. Make a point of looking for that which is good and praising that which is right. When you recognize that which is good and praise it, you have tuned in on divine order. When you criticize and condemn, you go against divine order. The universe is with you, but you must know it. God mind is my strength and energy. My grace is sufficient for thee. 2 Corinthians 12:9. The energy of God mind sustains its level of efficient action in me. Energy never diminishes nor decreases, but is constant in vitalizing and sustaining itself. This energy strengthens me on every plane of action. My mind is clear and keen. I am open to new ideas and quickly accept those that are usable. I am strong in my conviction of good. I never waver in that which is right. The vitality and strength of the infinite mind is mine. My emotions express the energy of infinite mind. There is no weakness in my enthusiasm nor in my approach to life. God energy permits no lukewarm action. I am wholehearted in all that I do. Divine energy is the strength in my body. There is no thought of weakness nor belief in insufficiency. I am quickened into right action. I am so strengthened that all that I do works out right. I am the action of God mind made manifest. The energy of God mind is my vital health. I am loved and appreciated because I love and appreciate. The fruit of the Spirit is love. Galatians 5:22. My acceptance of my God self gives my life purpose and meaning. I appreciate the God thought that created me, and I am grateful to the God love which sustains me. I accept myself with appreciation because the creative mind called me good. No feeling of rejection has any place in my thought, nor can there be any rejection in my environment. I do not give in to self-pity, nor can I feel lack of appreciation. No pattern of self-rejection can disguise itself. I meet any such condition boldly and frankly and destroy any belief in self-rejection. My positive acceptance of myself as God created me makes every experience in my life constructive. My whole world accepts me according to my self-acceptance. Since there is no self-rejection in me, there is no rejection in my world. I admire my friends, I appreciate their love, I appreciate the people I work for and the people I work with. I appreciate every member of my family. Good is the law of my environment. I approach this day with newness of heart. Behold, I make all things new. Revelations 21:5. This day I am receptive to new thought and experience new experiences. I'm not subject to old thought patterns because my thinking is not in a rut. I have a new concept of life and expect to live more joyously. I accept the good in yesterday, but I am not in bondage to it. My law of progress ever unfolds new opportunities. Each day I am conscious of greater power. The beliefs of yesteryear cannot control me now. The truth of being is ever renewed in my belief. Creeds and opinions, which I have outgrown, I no longer animate with my thinking, therefore they have no place in my experience. My consciousness animates those desires which are essential to my well-being. I do not give up those constructive ideas that mean much to me. I am constantly expecting the complete fulfillment of that which my heart cherishes. I am eternally made new every day in thought, feeling, and body. Whatever I do merits my full attention. For this cause came I into the world. John 18:37. I know that each task represents something that my inner thought has created. Therefore, I apply myself easily to fulfill the idea involved. My mind does not wander because the God purpose in each task is all-powerful. I'm not distracted by other interests because this task which I have subjectively chosen, I consciously fulfill. I meet each situation as it rises. Those tasks which are completed, I release. I am not burdened by hanging on to completed ideas. Since mind is fluidic, I am always open and receptive to new concepts. The one intelligence ever inspires me toward new endeavors. At all times, my full attention is given to each task so that it is completed quickly. I'm flexible in thought. Consequently, I can change quickly from one type of experience to another. I do not have to spend time working up a mood. Whether my task is to wash the dishes or write a book, I am flexible in spirit and give each thing my attention. The friendly universe. Your attitude toward God, the self, and your fellow man colors every experience that you have. You do not have to be consciously treating or praying every moment, as long as you have a subjective feeling of your oneness with God and that all is well. This feeling acts as a definite force that causes rightness to appear. You automatically react in terms of good. Do not permit negative experiences over which you must demonstrate. This pattern of good dissipates any negative emotions or feeling before they could form negative experiences. Good is a positive force. Therefore, it becomes a positive projection in your life. Pray often and consistently. Each time you pray, believe that something takes place. The universe responds to you. It is your friend. Your fellow man was placed in your environment by the power that made you. Therefore, he also is your friend. This unity of life is sustained in friendliness. I accept each opportunity for growth and expansion. The word of God grew and multiplied. Acts 12:24. I know that whenever I recognize that I am ready for a larger expression, the opportunity always presents itself. My God vision ever stimulates my thought and increases my capacity to express. There is no false belief that can hold me in a rut or retard my progress and growth. My mind is constantly stimulated with new ideas. Life is interesting, and I approach each new situation with enthusiasm. My capacity to express constructively is constantly increased. New thoughts and new inspiration constantly increase my efficiency. The one mind reveals new methods whereby I work easily and effectively. I am ready for a greater opportunity. This awareness permits no feeling of inadequacy and no belief in frustration. My self-recognition of my ability creates the channels through which my ability can express. I'm not reticent nor timid. I give full power to the recognition of what I can do. Each opportunity which I recognize and accept increases my power to express. Each thing I do successfully brings forth greater ability. I successfully complete every task, for then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Joshua 1:8. My vision of my goal is clear. I recognize the value in the fulfillment of my desire. I understand its real meaning to me. Consequently, I approach it with wholeheartedness. No half-hearted effort can delay its fulfillment, nor can my interest lag, nor my enthusiasm wane. Since I know what this project means to me, I can apply my whole self toward its fulfillment. I give it my complete attention. Each step necessary for me to take is clearly realized by me, and I know what is involved at each point in my experience. The power in me is greater than my endeavor, yet my entire self flows into each effort. I know that whatever is worthy of my full thought is worthy of all my time and all my energy. Therefore, I work generously and unstintingly, and right action prospers each thing I do. The mind that gave me this idea is the mind that appraised its true value and endowed me with the ability to make the complete demonstration. I stand in faith and give no power to fear. Thy faith hath saved thee. Go in peace. Luke 7:50. My life is grounded in truth. Awake or asleep, the God presence fills me, watches over me, guides me, and protects me. I have no silly superstitions regarding fear, secret or otherwise. My faith in God does not permit fear to have any power. I live in the conviction that the God presence always holds me secure. Whatever I start works out right. Wherever I go, I am always in the right situation. Everyone that approaches me does so in the right attitude. Consciously and unconsciously, I live in the atmosphere of faith. I am positive in my recognition that God always directs. The directing power always keeps me in the right atmosphere. Doubt and uncertainty have no place in my life because my positive faith is always in charge. My acceptance of truth gives no power to any seeming unbelief. No claim of limitation or luck has any power. I am not afraid of the idle word or frivolous thought because my faith always controls my thinking. Through the one intelligence, I always know what to do. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will counsel thee with mine eye upon thee. Psalm 32:8. I am not plagued by indecision nor doubt because God mind in me governs. My life is motivated by divine ideas. A definite pattern of progress inspires everything I do, even though at times I may not be conscious of what I do. I do that which is right, even when I cannot see that which is involved in each situation. I know that good has created the situation and good brings the right reaction. My whole being is conditioned to right action. Therefore, everything I do is backed by the power of confident knowing. The one mind always inspires and fulfills. Just as the string that holds the beads or pearls together may be invisible, so that all creating purpose of my life is sometimes invisible. My subjective pattern of good is operative and always brings good out of every experience. Awake or asleep, this law of right governs wherever I go. It leads and directs me into the channels of my greatest fulfillment. I consciously know what I really want. It shall be told thee what thou must do. Acts 9:6. God mind in me is all-knowing and reveals to me that which I really want to do. I'm not plagued by indecision, nor do I have difficulty making up my mind. I weigh the value of each idea and desire. My decisions are quick, so that I reject those desires that do not represent what I truly want. Those ideas and desires which would accomplish my true purpose, I am quick to recognize and accept. The God mind in me keeps me ever conscious of my goal. I know that success belongs to me. As I follow my true desire, I prosper. My ability and talents are thus developed. Everything I do is worthwhile because I am putting my full ability into it. My awareness of what I really want enables me to put my full interest into every endeavor. I do not let any experience wither on the vine because interest has not nourished it sufficiently. All avenues are open for my complete expression. Put your ideas to work. It takes more than a single idea to keep life fulfilling its greatest opportunities. What you think, you become. Energy follows thought. A new thought, a creative thought, is the spearhead of a stream of continuously creative ideas, each one greater than its predecessor. Mind is fluidic. The congested mind interferes with the law of growth. Ideas come to you to be used and expressed. If you hold them back, they lose their freshness, and life can become very dull. If you are afraid that you might run out of good ideas, you are subconsciously interfering with the thought stream. Each idea that comes to you brings limitless possibilities with it. Therefore, you should immediately realize it will have its full release, its complete expression, and that as you use each idea, many more will come to you to take its place. Mind is infinite. No one has ever used up the potential mind power of his life. The right idea puts you into action. Each idea fulfilled increases your livingness and also increases your unused potential. You should make use of each idea. I accept my larger expression now, for we receive the due reward of our deed. Luke 23:41. The law of my life is one of constant growth because I am progress conscious. I do not take it for granted that things will get better. I think progress, feel progress, and I am progress conscious. I do everything necessary mentally, emotionally, and physically to further this expansion of being. My increased awareness of my true power and my increased recognition of my talents and ability bring a larger opportunity for my full life expression. Each day, I greet life with a greater consciousness of power. I meet each new experience with a deeper realization of my ability to handle it. I have outgrown my old experiences which used to upset me. My continued growth is a tribute to my constant recognition of God power. Every situation gives me the opportunity for a larger expression. There is no belief in frustration, nor in lack of opportunity, because my law of progress ever surrounds me with larger opportunities for expansion. Since God is infinite and without measure, so my God self is infinite and without measure. My life is the positive expression of good. The upright shall have good things in possession. Proverbs 28:10. The momentum of my life is forward, and nothing can cause me to swerve. There is that within me which is conscious of my objective, and everything in my life speeds me towards its goal. Subjective mind in me does everything necessary to keep me on this straight path. Anything that I need to know to increase my efficiency is made known. Whatever I need to include in my life is brought in by subjective mind. My forward path is steady and my effort is consistent. I complete each experience as it arises, rejoicing that this makes way for a larger experience. I welcome each opportunity to put forth my best effort. No one can take that which belongs to me, nor can I take that which belongs to someone else. I do not permit doubt nor fear. No erratic action exists in my life, for my energy is directed orderly. This positive attitude toward my objective keeps me constantly at my best, and right action always governs. The harmony at the center of my being governs my environment. Now will I rise, saith the Lord. Now will I be exalted. Now will I lift up myself. Isaiah 33:10. The peace at the center of my being projects its harmonious unfoldment in every experience which I have. This peace at the center extends itself as my environment. It completely fills me, surrounds me, and pushes into everything I do. My work is harmonious with me, and I am harmonious with my work. My work is my self-projection. I permit no false projection based upon incorrect belief or emotional frustration. I project only the truth of being. God manifests through me. I love my work, and my work radiates love to me. It provides adequate channels because I depend upon divine principle and not upon the salary I receive. I daily put more love into what I do, and more love is reflected back to me. I am wholehearted in my endeavor, and the world is wholehearted in its abundant return to me. I am unstinting in my effort, and everyone I meet is unstinting in his service. My environment expresses wholeness and completeness. God mind endowed its creation with the necessary power to sustain its God idea. For whosoever findeth me findeth life. Proverbs 8:35. God mind intended that God's perfect health be my perfect health. My body is the creation of God mind and represents God's awareness of perfect being. I know that every function of body is the activity of mind. Every organ is perfect and does its right work. Every function of body is complete. The pattern of perfect body sustains its creativeness. There is no belief that could create sickness, no emotional disturbance. God action cannot be congested nor obstructed. No false belief has any existence in me, and there is no wrong thought about body or its activity and functions. The spirit within me cannot be depleted nor exhausted nor fatigued. Infinite life ever makes new. I am a center of vitality, strength, and power. The functions of body are the faculties of God mind. My sight, my hearing, my speaking are the action of God knowing. I am the positive knowingness of God mind. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. 2 Timothy 4:7. My attitude toward life is positive and constructive. I'm not antagonistic toward any circumstance or condition, but I am positive in my recognition that good prevails. My God self in all of its power is in conscious control of my life. This positive conviction directs everything in my life. There is that within me which knows where I am going and knows why I shall do everything that I do today. I cannot waver, for my direction is definite. All my energy of spirit and mind is directed constructively. I do not permit myself to wander mentally, emotionally, or physically. All of my actions are directed. Everything I do is the fulfillment of a purpose. I act with certainty in the conviction that right governs. I am not apologetic to anyone for my actions, nor do I trespass upon the rights of others. My positiveness brings to me only that which is my own and does not interfere with the good of anyone else. I provide no loophole for escape from my immortal destiny. I believe in good times and know that all is well with my world. Be not therefore anxious for the morrow. Matthew 6:34. Regardless of what people around me might say, think, or do, I live in the assurance that God action governs, and all is right with me. I am not affected by negative talk, nor am I disturbed by negative beliefs. The one mind in me knows the truth of being. I think truth, talk truth, feel truth, and expect truth to express in everything that I do. I'm not afraid of negative talk because I know it has no power. I'm not afraid to be with people who do not think constructively because I know the truth of being. Everyone that comes into my atmosphere is influenced for good by this healing presence. I do not hold anyone in bondage by feeling that he is not receptive to truth, nor do I limit anyone by feeling that he is not ready for the truth. I know that the one mind is in everyone, that truth indwells all. Each person is made aware of the truth that he can use and express. Prayer is answered. Pray for what you want and want what you pray for. Just as an iceberg is 7/8 underwater, so the action of your prayer is 7/8 subconscious. Your conscious affirmation is 1/8 of your prayer. But what you think between your conscious affirmations influences its outcome. Your thinking between conscious prayer should be an attitude of subjective acceptance of what you have prayed for. Let your first thought after you have finished your treatment or prayer be one of positive expectancy. Do not pray for money and then think about all the money you do not have. Do not pray for health and then look to see what the next symptom will be. Speak the word of truth with power and know that it is subjectively accepted now. The sincerity of your desire and the earnestness of your prayer will bring its answer. Your word of truth establishes itself in your subjective as you know and accept it. Seek with all your heart and pray affirmatively, accepting. Love and life are eternal and unbroken, for his mercy endureth forever. Psalm 136:25. I know that I am never separated in love from those who mean much to me. No matter where they are on this earth or in some other sphere, love and life are eternal and unbroken. Whatever I do that is constructive and good will eternally be part of my being. I acknowledge and keep faith with the law of eternal life. My loved ones who have gone on could no more forget me than I could forget them. I do not mourn because a loved one has passed on to a new experience of life any more than I would mourn when a loved one takes a trip to some other country. I know that the spiritual bond that unites us destroys any tendency to grieve. The eternality of my own being bears witness to my belief in the eternality of all persons. The mind that created me and endowed me with the capacity to love is the mind that will always ensure my well-being and surround me with that love which abides. I accept joyously that which is mine to do. My meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work. John 4:34. I know that whatever is right for me to do, I shall do lovingly and joyously. I do not grumble because I seem impelled to act through duty. I know that my position in life carries with it certain responsibilities. Therefore, I accept them as part of my unfoldment. It is my pleasure and privilege to fulfill my chosen task. I do not permit people to make unwarranted demands on me, nor to waste my time, but I do not neglect fulfilling any responsibility. Whatever is mine to do, I accomplish thoroughly and easily. I do not rebel at my right expression, nor do I resist my opportunity for expansion. I act with certainty, never wavering. My responsibility accepted and fulfilled releases me from all bondage. Each task done well makes me ready for a larger expression. Responsibility is never a burden, and a burden is never a responsibility. My responsibility, recognized and accepted, gives me a definite mental spiritual lift. My task is important, and I am important too. Always, that which I need to know is made known. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light. Matthew 10:27. My mind does not become cluttered with unnecessary details in solving problems. It knows that right governs and that right action is sustained even without my conscious knowledge, just as I do not have to consciously operate a train when I am its passenger, so I do not have to watch subjective mind every minute. When I board the train, right action causes its smooth operation, provides excellent service, and gets me to my destination safely and on time. So subjective mind fulfills thousands of steps in demonstrating my vision, most of these beyond my comprehension. My whole attention is alerted for all that I should know. Mind is infinite and is self-knowing in me. The all-knowing mind cannot experience unknowingness in me. Therefore, it knows only wisdom, inspiration, brilliance, and keenness in me. I grasp new ideas quickly and perceive the value in each situation. I am brilliant in the one mind. Whatever demand I make upon subjective mind is met instantly and fully. My effort for good is consistent. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned. I know that the nature of God does not change. That which was in the beginning good is still good and maintains itself as good throughout eternity. Since I am the expression of this good, conceived by it and endowed with its own nature, the good which I am is eternal. I do not fluctuate between ups and downs, good and bad. I live consistently in the realization that good ever sustains me and always finds its full expression in all that I do. Whether I am active or inactive cannot change my relationship to the all-good. Whether my task is great or small, the all-good operates equally through me. My consciousness of the one life does not vary. I do not expect to be better tomorrow nor worse, for tomorrow I shall still be the consciousness of good, expressing at my level of unfoldment. This consistency in my nature maintains consistency in my relationship with others. The one intelligence always acts with certainty, but to each one is given the manifestation of the Spirit to profit withal. 1 Corinthians 12:7. I do not waste time in needless regret over past experiences. I proclaim everything in my past as good. The one intelligence governs any action which seemed to divert my good. The one mind reconverts into constructive channels. I am free from regrets because the one intelligence causes all experiences to work out right. This intelligence transcends my vision and more than compensates for any seeming lack on my part. The sincerity of my motives cannot let me falter. I choose those ideas which I truly desire. I put my whole heart into each endeavor. This causes me to act with certainty. My positive awareness of good controls my choice of ideas. I reject any desires or ideas which would not further my constructive purpose. I know that thought works, therefore I choose the thoughts that work to fulfill my desire. Creative mind always knows what to do to make all things right. Creative mind fulfills my desire. The peace of God within keeps me poised. Live in peace, and the God of love and peace shall be with you. 2 Corinthians 13:11. I am aware of the peace which is God expressing in everything I do. Nothing discordant has any place in my experience, for nothing can disturb my consciousness of peace. This awareness of peace sustains right relationships in every experience. I am limitless activity, consciously directed toward the full attainment of my God expression. This harmony at the center of my being permits no doubt nor fear. It always sustains the awareness of rightness. I do not get excited nor irritable because I know that right governs. The peace at the center guarantees right action. I cannot be frustrated, for my real self sustains its full release. I live in the conviction that right governs. I refrain from discordant thoughts and permit no ill will toward anyone. My silent conversations are peaceful, harmonious, and joyous. I do not permit myself to be irritated at anyone or anything. No malcontent can betray me. The peace at the center keeps me joyous, loving, and kind. God action directs all my affairs. In whom are all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge hidden? Colossians 2:3. God knowing in me causes all things to work out right. No inaction or overaction can exist in anything that concerns me. Every experience has the right emphasis. Everything I do sustains the right impression. All business matters are handled with wisdom. All experience is completed. My enthusiasm does not lag. My interest is sustained at full pace until the consummation of that which I undertake. God action animates everything connected with my work. I inspire confidence from others because I maintain confidence in others. I get full cooperation, and I give full cooperation wherever it is needed. God action is always directed. It can never be delayed nor misdirected. It includes everything essential to its well-being. Everything in my life expresses this action of good. It breaks down any belief in inertia and destroys any fear of inaction. God action keeps me thinking sustained in the right direction. Nothing can interfere because God action is all power. It brings joyous fulfillment in all that I do. Within me is the power to believe. And this is life eternal. John 17:3. I put aside all beliefs in a mortal self because I know that I am immortal mind. An entire new world is open before me now that I understand the creativeness of mind. I know that my emotions cannot use me. I use my emotions, nor can body enslave me because my body is my servant. I do not permit myself to think in terms of body, age, nor emotional feeling. I am immortal mind, and body responds to my thinking. The spirit within me, which is God, is neither young nor old. It knows nothing about age. Spirit in me knows the same truth about me. I am neither young nor old. I am the awareness of God mind, conscious of its own divine completeness. I am not afraid of years, nor do I have any dread of time. I live in the eternality of being. Immortality is not something I must gain. It is the consciousness I already have. I was born with it. I always have time for what I really want to do. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. Job 22:28. I know that interest governs my attention. What I am interested in, I give attention to. I know that subjective mind accepts my dominant interest and creates the necessary channels to bring it through. I have no alibis and no excuses because I cannot refrain from doing what I really want to do. There is no power, no belief that can keep me from being where I want to be. I know that the law of perfect right action creates the ways and means for my dominant thought pattern to be fulfilled. My wholehearted conviction permits no loophole of escape. There is no subconscious action that could prevent me from doing that which I truly desire to do. I have no fear in rejection nor belief in non-recognition. I know that God mind always responds because I have the right work, the right compensation, the right friends. I live in the right environment, for the law of divine right action governs everything in my life. You can develop confidence. Don't give in to shyness and timidity. Many persons with great talents permit shyness and timidity to interfere with their rightful expression. Perhaps life might seem simpler if a person could sit in the back row or take a seat in the corner, but there is no virtue in being a wallflower. If a person is too engrossed in himself, he is apt to be shy. Too much introspection causes a person to withdraw into himself. However, to think of your ability and your talents is to turn your mental energy outward in its flow. Confidence can be acquired just as you can develop great skill in anything. The greater your recognition of your talents, the easier it will be to turn this mental energy outward in its flow. Timidity can be man's greatest enemy. Certainly, you do not want to become aggressive or obnoxious, but true ability cannot be denied. There's a law of mind that responds to you as you believe. Your talents can be developed. Always expect your next effort to be better than the one you have just finished. Every man has access to infinite mind and limitless power. O Lord, thou art my God. I will exalt thee. Isaiah 25:1. I leave each individual free to live his life according to the divine concept of him. I do not interfere silently or in any other way. I do not attempt to influence his conduct by forming opinions as to what I think he should do. I know that God mind guides him according to his responsiveness. When he is ready, God mind always answers. I declare this same law of freedom for myself. I am not influenced by what other people think. I should do or feel that I should say. I have access to the infinite mind and live according to my understanding. I do not mold my life after the pattern of someone else. I live according to the light which illumines me. This inner light reveals to me all that I need to know. No one can criticize me nor judge me because I alone know what my pattern is. Consequently, I reject any suggestion that is irrelevant. I am one with that which really knows. God in the heart of me is love. Love never faileth. 1 Corinthians 13:8. The presence which is God in me permits no prejudices of any kind. My fellow man is part of me and I am part of him. Love knows no barriers for its expression. Its infiniteness of being is everywhere present. Love is an unifying, integrating agency. It dissolves discord and creates harmony. Through love, I recognize, appreciate, and understand my fellow man. This understanding love brings forth new qualities in my relationships in life. At all times, it reminds me that God so loved the world that he gave himself. The love at my heart is the love of God in me. This keeps me strong and well. This love permits no false pride. I live sincerely without pretense or sham. Divine love permits no criticism or condemnation, for love amplifies and magnifies that which is positive and constructive. Through love, I put myself wholeheartedly into my work. Through love, I work in an atmosphere of harmony and understanding. Love always fulfills. The attitude of truth governs. And hereby we know that we are of the truth and shall assure our hearts before him. 1 John 3:19. There is that within me which has the right attitude toward everyone in my life. I do not prejudge anyone that I meet, regardless of opinions expressed about people. I am free from prejudices. I do not misjudge anyone, nor can anyone take advantage of me. My mind is free from gossip, and I am not curious about the lives of others. Everyone has access to the infinite mind, and I think of each person as in his right place and right expression. Divine wisdom keeps me from being gullible or incredulous. The law of my life impels everyone to live up to the highest standard of truth. I meet each person upon the God level because the law of truth impels me to live up to the highest standard of truth. I cannot impose upon anyone, nor do I attempt to influence another person, for I know the intelligence in each guides and sustains. I recognize each person as God contained and God expressed. Divine love stabilizes my emotions and keeps me at peace. The precepts of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. Psalm 19:8. The unifying presence of divine love in me keeps me at peace. God, through love, gave himself to his manifest world. That same love manifests my perfect expression. Divine love permits no disintegrating force to operate in my consciousness. Hatred and resentment have no place in me. My unified self is perfect in understanding. I am not subject to prejudices of any kind, racial, national, nor personal. My understanding of man's basic unity in God permits no prejudices. I can choose freely the things and experiences which I like. I can reject with equal ease any experiences which I do not desire. It is not necessary that I like everything because I do not hate anything. I cultivate those experiences which I like and which are beneficial to my unfoldment. I intensify that which is desirable. That which I love reaches the greatest intensity of all because I am unified with that which I love. This keeps me emotionally stabilized and at peace. God is all-knowing in me. To be spiritually minded is life and peace. Romans 8:6. The one mind which is God is my mind now. Since it is the only mind, it cannot be confused nor mixed up. It is all-knowing. It sustains its unified being in me. This one mind is always harmonious. No discordant thought nor feeling can exist within it. Thus, no conflict has any place within me. The unity of the one mind keeps me integrated, at one with the world in which I live. The all-knowing mind sustains clear thinking in everything that concerns my expression. Nothing of confusion can exist anywhere in my environment. The all-knowing mind causes all things to work out right. Mind cannot be deceived and is not subject to delusions. No false appearance can cloud an issue. Mind is all-knowing and is the only creative power. Regardless of what I do, mind is the power that accomplishes, and I give full recognition to its creativeness. Nothing in me can doubt its responsiveness to me nor my ability to think creatively. I know that mind action objectifies my desire. Don't be a slave to time. An old adage says that if you want something done well, select the busiest person you know to do it. Such people are not time conscious. Whenever your work goes smoothly and easily, you lose sight of time. When your work seems laborious and your interests lag, time drags and you can hardly keep your eyes off the clock. Your interests govern your actions. You find time for what you really want to do, and you can be where you really want to be. You can always do what you actually want to do. But when you doubt yourself, time becomes your great alibi. When you make up your mind to do what you want to do, time cannot interfere. Otherwise, you may postpone your decisions until tomorrow, then put them off until the day following. You need more time, but actually time does not figure in the delusion. It is merely a matter of making up your mind. You can make your decisions now. I know that the good in me far outweighs any false belief. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Since God is the center of my being, nothing false really has any power. My positive, constructive thought cannot be limited nor affected by any negative thinking. God thought me into form and endowed me with the consciousness of good. Nothing negative nor evil has any place in my life nor any power in my experience. I am not disturbed if my mind appears to wander, because the positive direction of good is so great that any seeming wandering would have no power. I'm not afraid of anything negative that has been in my past, because my consciousness of good has destroyed any power that evil may have had. Discouragement has no power in my life, because God knowing is positive and powerful. No one can take my position, nor anything that belongs to me. No one can take any prestige, nor honor, nor glory that is rightfully mine. I live in the conviction that always right governs. Divine intelligence directs me to my greatest good. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. Proverbs 6:22. Whether I am conscious of it or not, divine intelligence guides me. It directs my every effort into my greatest achievement. It permits nothing to interfere with the positive, progressive momentum of my life. No confusion can exist in or around me, because the directing intelligence sustains right action. This intelligence makes easy my work. I am directed to each place where I can be the most effective. That which I have to offer is made consciously known to those who need it, and the guiding intelligence leads me inevitably where my work, my talents, and my abilities are recognized, appreciated, and rewarded. This guiding intelligence draws me the opportunities which I need for the achievement of my good. The dominant thought pattern of successful achievement influences everything I do. It automatically repels frustration or failure. Its positive impetus for success is so great that it makes its success known. My relationship with those around me is maintained in perfect understanding. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart. 1 Kings 3:9. No misunderstanding can exist in any of my relationships with people, because I respect the integrity of each person. I give each the right to express his desires and feelings in his God-given way. My thought does not trespass upon the thought of any person. I do not silently think what he should do, nor attempt to tell him audibly what to do. I know that he has access to the infinite mind, and what he needs to know will always be made known to him. This attitude which I maintain towards others is likewise maintained by everyone toward me. No silent bossiness has any effect upon me. No mental intrusion can penetrate my mental aura. I am a complete identity in God. Everyone respects the sacredness of my right to live my life according to my vision of the pattern on the mount. God indwells every person I know. This power of good makes insignificant any seeming weakness. God in me meets my friend on the God level. I accept my God self. Let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith. Hebrews 10:22. When God proclaimed his creation very good, he included me, for I am his creation. Since God thinks of me as very good, I accept myself in the same light. No pattern of self-rejection can exist in my life. I am here because I want to be here. Because I want to be here, I am wanted where I am. I cannot get hurt feelings because I accept myself. my identity in God mind is forever established. Everywhere I go, I am accepted because of this God identity. I'm not afraid of being in the wrong place because my work and my life expression are right. I know that the law of God never coerces. I could not have brought me into a home where I did not want to go, nor could it have taken me into a home that did not want me to be there. My birth and my family expression are all part of this divine acceptance. I am the full expression of life. Honor the Lord within thy substance, and with the first fruits of all thine increase. Proverbs 3:9. Since I am an integrated being, every phase of my life expression is active. Every faculty of my mind is keen and alert. God action sustains my right expression in my thinking and in my emotions. Whatever I set out to do, I accomplish. Whatever my talents need for their full expression is included within the talents themselves. Since I do not bestow these talents upon myself, the power that did create them also provided the ways and means for their full expression. I do not neglect my work even though it does not provide the full expression that I require. Applying myself where I am to the best of my ability ensures personal expansion and soul growth. I do not let a seeming partial expression interfere with my full and complete expression. The power within me is greater than any channel through which it might operate. Since it is infinite, it provides countless channels through which it can express. The law of right placement governs me every day. Therefore with joy shall ye draw water out of the wells of salvation. Isaiah 12:3. God's universe is governed by order and controlled by divine love. Every person and everything are in their right place according to their law of expression. The right place for man always includes right works, right supply, and right environment. My right place includes right conditions. There is no belief in inaction, nor can I ever be out of place. My right place is established in divine mind, emotionally, socially, and financially. Divine mind is not static in me, but is constantly flowing forth as new ideas, new inspiration, and new experiences. I am constantly growing, and the law of right placement always provides experiences consistent with my growth. I do not fight my environment, nor struggle to get out of any predicament. I grow out of any experience that is limiting or frustrating. I do not cling to any completed experience, nor hang on to used up ideas. Right placement ever brings a richer, greater unfoldment. Divine intelligence guides me. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and thou shalt be like a watered garden. Isaiah 58:11. Whether or not I am conscious of its guidance, it never fails to give positive direction to my effort. I have absolute faith in the unfailing wisdom of this guiding intelligence, for I know that right is, and that right governs. God is omnipresent, and good is established. Even though I might not know what good is, good governs and guides. I am guided, directed, and controlled by that which is right. For my life is the expression of God mind, conscious of its own rightness of being. The power within me, even unbeknown to me, holds me consciously in the path of my good. Anything that might be detrimental to me, the law of my life rebuffs. I am aware of the allness of right. Consequently, everything I do sustains rightness. I am not subject to mistakes nor error. Nothing of confusion can exist in any of my life relationships. Since right governs, right action prevails, everything in my life conforms to this pattern of right. And this concludes The Creative Word by Robert H. Bitzer. This amazing collection of treatments and prayers and wisdom is very powerful and unique and consistent. The main key idea to bring from each of these prayers and treatments is that you are a part of the God mind. The God mind is you, and you are a part of it. Everyone else is a part of it. And this God mind expresses perfectly, with perfect order and harmony. And so the key element that you get from all of these wonderful affirmations and prayers is that you should guide yourself properly into a state where you're aware of this God mind, understanding that the thoughts that come through you are God's thoughts. That's the number one key point to come out of this, is that you are one with God, that that you are God, you are an expression of God, and when you tune in to this universal divine presence, that things work out perfectly for you. There's some great affirmations for abundance in here, understanding that God always works in absolute abundance. While many of these are similar, they all carry their own unique purpose, and there's some great biblical quotes as well. I'd love to know which of these prayers was your favorite. If you had anything that you had to write down or you pulled out that was powerful to you, write it down in the comments. Just the act of writing it down really is wonderful and powerful. You can use these or any parts of these at any point in time to connect to that God mind that he's talking about. This God mind, this divine principle that is working through you, the more you connect to it, the greater your abilities, the greater your power, the greater your ability to express this God mind. We're all a part of it, and we're coming to an understanding of it, and these really bring that out. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com, and welcome to The Reality Revolution.